Hello everyone. Following on from my previous videos, I want to do a little bit more experimentation with shaving foam to make backgrounds. I remembered I had bought some Brushos sprinklets, which are kind of, I suppose they're an add-on to regular Brushos. The three metallics, a gold, a copper and a pearl, and three iridescents, gold, violet and flash, whatever flash is. I'm not absolutely sure what you're actually supposed to do with these. Sprinkle Brushos crystal colour onto the surface, followed by Brushos sprinklet. Use a spray mister bottle, spritz with water to create sparkling, shimmering effects. Apply sparingly, and once dry, add additional layers of Brushos sprinklet if required. If required, Brushos sprinklet needs the addition of spritzed water to begin working and to adhere to the surface being worked on. So there we go. You may see I've got two plates here. As you can see, I've got two plates. Because what I thought I would do is see how Brushos, together with Brushos sprinklets, stack up against Luscious powders. This is my supply of Luscious powders. I think, and what I want to do today, I was thinking I wouldn't bother with any. We'll see what happens. I thought I would just actually sprinkle it into the shave foam as a powder without any water and see if there's sufficient moisture in the shave foam to activate the powders. So, you know, there's kind of one way to find out, isn't there? So that's what I'm going to do. I'll start with the Brushos with a little bit of shave. I hope this comes out. It was a little bit sluggish yesterday, so we'll see how we go. I don't want to use too much. Oh, look at this. Playing silly kids, isn't it? It's not very foamy, is it? Never mind. We will press on. Let's get a palette knife of some description. This one will do, just to spread it out a little bit. I don't think it's actually supposed to be quite this consistency. I think it's supposed to be more bubbly. Perhaps my top thing needs a... I don't know if you can take it off. Anyway, we're going to carry on and see. Okay, so let's use Brushos first. My Brushos, when I first had them, I tried to take the top off. Of course, I got so much colour, I didn't know what earth I was doing. And somebody said, you have to put a hole in the top and it works much better. So what shall we go with? I have written the names of the colours on the tops of the... let's do just blue. Let's use blues. We've got cobalt, Ost blue. What's Ost blue? I don't know. Ost blue. Prussian blue. Ost. I think I have a turquoise somewhere. Yes, I have a turquoise as well. Prussian blue, cobalt blue. This Ost blue. Anything else? What'll do anyway. Let's just try. Let's put a little. Doesn't look like it's going to do much with oh, crikey.
I don't see a crikey in your contacts.
Oh dear. He doesn't see a crikey in my contacts. Oh my Lord. Bless him. Somebody sent me a picture of him this morning. He's a bit of a hunk, old Mr. Siri. Oh, he's been hanging on my wrist for all this time. Crimes. Right, there's my... Oh, they are doing something, aren't they? Let's just see. Now let's tap a bit of this kind of stuff. What shall we put on? A bit of gold. Shall we put a bit of gold on? Is that gold? Metallic gold. Let's just see what happens. Right. I've got a variety of bits of scraps and odds and ends here. I thought I'd even try on a bit of vellum and see what the effect is on that. Let's just see. I don't think my shaving foam is quite up to par, to be honest. Before I scrape it off, let me just blot it onto another piece. Did this yesterday. I've got heaps of backgrounds from yesterday. I can't see much gold here, can you? I think I might even get some more off this. Let me just put this one back on itself. Get two out of this chap. I think it's going to be quite a nice effect, to be honest. Get one more off this. I suppose you could try this through the stencils like I did yesterday, couldn't you? There's loads in there as well. Irma, what am I going to do? Oh dear. Let's just wipe it off and see. Ooh, easy. I've got an apron on, you'll be happy to know. Right, let's just scrape this off. Oh, it's quite interesting, isn't it? It's not like regular shaving foam technique, but that might be something to do with the fact that my shaving foam is not quite right, maybe. Who knows? Let's just get this off. It's interesting, isn't it? It is kind of dotty. Perhaps if I now add a bit more colour and a drop of water to that, we'll just see what happens. So let's just see. They're quite nice. I mean, they'll definitely come in useful for something or other, but what, I don't know not. There we go. Right, let me just clean up a little minute. Should have worn gloves, shouldn't I? Never mind. Don't actually care for gloves too much, but I don't care for the effect of the dye on my fingers afterwards if I don't. Right, let's just have another little go. We put a drop more of the blue in. This is cobalt blue. And I'm going to put some more of the gold. Actually, it's making me sneeze a bit. And I'm going to put some water. Let's give it a stir. Let's just see. Still can't see the gold in this. I don't think the gold's going to be affected so much with the, not affected, I don't mean affected, I don't quite know what I do mean. I'm going to leave that to let that colour sort of set onto the card a bit before I do any wipings or any other. Let me just try now with some Luscious powders and see how they go. Now, where I'm going to put this is another thing, isn't it, really? Let's just put that on there. Now move the plate out of the way. It's just not, it's not like normal, not marbling, shaving foam technique. And I am wondering if that is down to the stage, the stage of my shaving foam. Haven't used it for quite some time. I've got another plate here. We'll try again, and this time we will use Luscious powders and see what happens with it. Well, at least we know that you can use powders directly into shaving foam. Let's move these out of the way. So we've got room for some Luscious powders. So if we use, what colour shall we use in here? If we use one of, there's a gold of theirs, together with, what shall we have? What's this chap? Sparkling Waterfall. That sounds nice, doesn't it? And how about this? That's Mermaid Tresses. What's this one? Dragon's Eye. Aren't the names wonderful? But those two, to me, they look pretty similar to me. I did have one that was labelled wrongly the other day and they sent me a replacement. But they do look similar. What's that? What is that one? That's Hansel. And that doesn't look too dissimilar, does it? I think a lot of it has got to do with what the underlying mica is in there, because these powders have got so many varied colours and the colours show up differently on different coloured bases. Let's put that one with it. What was that one? Hansel. I don't know what colour Gretel is, but that's Hansel. Let's try these. Right, let's have a drop of foam. This doesn't look right, does it? It's supposed to be foamy. Perhaps I could go and grab some, what did somebody say they used? The stuff you put in your hair, what do you call it? Mousse. Some mousse. Don't know, we'll have to see. Now, these powders, I don't add in the same way. I use a soft brush. This one is I think it might be an aqua tint. Oh, it's Perfect Pearls. It's a Perfect Pearls brush. Okay. Oh, just look at that. Isn't that lovely? Okay. That was the hand, was it? That was Sparkling Waterfall. Oh, it's lovely. And this one is Hansel. Ooh, got a lot of twinkle in this one. Ooh, isn't that lovely? There we go. Now let's put some gold. Okay. Now, give it a little mix. Oops. Now this pigment doesn't look as strong as the Brushos, does it? Let's just see what happens with this. Now, isn't that interesting? That doesn't look like much at all. Let's scrape it off and see. No, that's not doing very much, is it? I think these need the water. Let me put some more on and spritz some water just to see what happens, because that didn't go through like the Brushos did. Isn't this interesting? perhaps I won't mix this up, just use it as a surface thing. Let me see. Look at the colours in this, lovely. If only they'll transfer. Let's see. Should I put a little drop of water? Squirt of water? Let's put some gold. Whether it works or whether it doesn't, I'm having fun playing. Oh my lord. Let's put some more water. Right, now let's see. This is all scraps out of the scrap straw. Things have been cut before now. I think I'm going to have to get my husband to get me a new, that's interesting, look. Ooh. Doesn't that look nice? Trying to imagine it once the shaving foam is gone, as long as it's transferred to the card. I think if I try and take a blot off this one, all I will be doing is taking away the shaving foam because there's not much colour on the top. Let's try let me try a bit of I'm going to try a bit of vellum on this. Let's just see. Now yesterday when I used the Brushos, not the Brushos, the Luscious with the shaving foam and with the embossing paste, I mixed it with water first and the colour transferred beautifully then, didn't it? So that might be the way forward with the Luscious powders. That might be nice, mightn't it, onto vellum? I'm going to leave it for a bit before taking it off. I might fold it to get the other half done. That might have been better if I'd just left it. Let's just do one more. Let's do one more. This one I think is going to be interesting. I think that might be interesting when it's, and I did put a drop of water in with that, didn't I? Let me try another one on here, just vellum. That's quite interesting too, isn't it? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop my experimenting at this point. I'm going to wait until these are dry, and I'm going to make some up into cards, and I'll do that. That is the process that I'll do to finish off this video. So I'll be right back. Well, the shaving foam cards are dry. I've wiped them off, and very mixed result, I have to say. This side were the Luscious powders, and I rather care for these two. They're incredibly subtle. Look at that. This one I think was a blot off one of the other ones. The first one of all made no impression at all. This one I think was a bit of a wipe up, and these ones were the Brushos, and there's no sign, as far as I can see, maybe tiny bit there of the gold sprinkle it powder that I put on afterwards. So I do have one sort of proviso really, and that is I think that the shaving foam was not as the shaving foam should have been. And so my dear husband has just returned from the club via the grocery store, and he has bought me a new can of shaving foam. So I will try this again just to see. But I thought you should see the difference between... these are the result of adding just powder to shaving foam, and these ones were the result of adding the powder mixed with water. These were all Luscious powders. I haven't tried mixing the Brushos with water and adding to shaving foam. But, you know, with the old shaving foam, that's what worked there. So methinks adding just powder is probably not the way forward. But rather than just throw these away, I thought I would make something with them. As I don't like them very much, I thought if I use a background dye that's got a whole bunch of holes in, we'll be able to see some of the background showing through the holes. So I've got a card and a panel here. I often do this like this and then put a butterfly on. But I wondered about whether I would do it that way and just have a butterfly kind of there, just for a change. These butterflies I had given to me, but I think they're poppy stamps dies. A trio of poppy stamps do a lot of stitching on their dies, don't they? So I think they're poppy stamps. As I say, I had them, I think they were a duplicate of somebody's and they were passed on. So beggars can't be choosers. So what I thought I would do is cut one of each butterfly, one in the background paper, the base one. The middle one I thought I would cut from plain white, and the top one I thought I would cut from the vellum. So let's just see how we go. And those I think I'm going to save for another day to use those more of a background, because I really rather care for that. This is the Luscious powders, and the colours that show, you know, in different lights are just simply lovely, absolutely lovely. So I'll put those on one side with the other shaving foams, and we'll just make a card with this rather disappointing array of backgrounds. That was the first one I did. There's a tiny touch of gold there, but not much, and I don't like the look of that anyway. So this is going to be behind my front panel, just peeking through the holes. So let me make this. I'm going to try it this way. It might not work, but we'll see. Quite near should I do it near the top? Yeah, I'm going to do it near the top because of that straight line. If it was down there, it would look like it had sagged a bit. So I'm just going to put, that's my thought anyway. Right, let's just cut out this from my front panel. There we are. Okie dokie. I'll get rid of all these little There we go. Should do this on a little mat really, but my fingers work, so there we go. Okay, right. Move that out of the way. Let's just see what he's going to look like underneath there. That'd be quite nice, wouldn't it? It is. It's quite. So I only need part of this, so I'll chop a lump off and put that behind there. Right, now let's cut my butterflies out, and we'll have let's have the bottom one from one of these swirly bits, the big one. Now, get rid of those bits into the bin. There we go. Right, let's have the large butterfly from. Tell you what I often like to do, just so that I can see what I'm getting, I'm going to just, have I got a bit of paper here somewhere? Oh dear, can't see a piece of paper, I just have to use a piece of card. I have a piece of scrap paper here. And I do, I found it, right. Let me just cut one out of this, and then I can use the opening as a window to see what pattern I'm getting on my piece of card. Let's have a look. It might be interesting to see which way the swirly things kind of go, if you know what I mean. I don't know. Hoo hoo hoo. Well, that's quite nice like that. Let's do it there. Let me do it there. Get rid of this out of here. Okay. Yes, I quite like it there. Pop that in. Oops. Let's have a look. Quite a nice dark bit just there. Right, let's just cut it out of there. Right. That's going to be my bottom layer. Here we are. Let's see how I'm going to build this up. Often, you know, you can rescue things with a... Do you know, stuff with shaving foam, it feels absolutely lovely. It really feels lovely. Right, the second layer, I thought, the middle-sized one, I thought I would use plain white card. So, there's another bit of scrap. Same kind of card. And we'll have a middle-sized butterfly. Just plain white. And I'm hoping that the contrast between the different layers will just, you know, make it a bit more interesting. The white one there on the top. And then the tiddler, I thought we'd try and cut him out of a bit of vellum. Don't know which side I like, actually. The side with the shaving foam on is kind of shiny, and the other side is more matte. What do I like? Don't know really. Let's just cut one. Let's see how it looks. Right. It just slid into a bit with a slightly darker touch there, which I thought was quite nice. I left it. Right. Oh, it's quite sweet, isn't it? I think that's a bit much behind, even that behind there. I think it's a bit much. Oh, I've got some that's a bit paler. Let's just have a look. That's better. That's better. We'll have a bit of this one. See what I mean? Right. Let's just do a little bit of assemblage, shall we? Get rid of all these tiny little bits. There we go. This is a Sizzix die, by the way. This one of the background dies is a Sizzix. I love those. I've got a set of them. Let's let the dog see the rabbit over here. Move all these bits. Right. Now then, I will do another. Test with the new shaving foam to see if it's the foam that's the problem rather than the powders themselves as such. I'll just chop a bit off this. Let's see what this is like. That's fine, isn't it? Right, let's put it together. Where is my foam tape? Right here. And we will put a little down the edge of my panel. And a bit disappointed really with those powders. I thought they would do something, but as I say, I'm going to reserve judgment because it just may well be the fact that the shaving foam was deteriorated in my drawer for a long time. I couldn't get any out to start with, but we'll see. We will see. Okie dokie, nearly there. Right, I'm going to pop that bit of background on the back of this, and then we'll get the butterfly together. This butterfly is just the 3 butterflies. It didn't have a body, so often if I have a butterfly without a body, I'll throw a few gems down the middle or something like that. So we will see. Right. Okay. The lighter part nearer to the... Whoops. There we go. Okay. Oh, just about. Just about. Right. I'll put that onto there in a mo. To join these together, I think, you know, I'm going to do my own faithful. I do love a little bit of because the gold didn't show up on the print. I'm just going to put my signature gilding wax around the edge, just to accentuate a little. Not much this time. Says she put in a great daub. Oh dear, oh dear. Right, and the white one. I think we will put a bit on the white one. Just a touch. Now, who's trying to ring me? Somebody called Eliza. Don't know. Can't take it at the moment because I'm making a video. Do I know an Eliza? Don't think I do. Right, and the this one. There we go. Oh, it's pretty on the vellum. All is not lost when you think you've had a disaster. Right, just wipe my finger. Lots of people keep saying to me, why don't you put the wax into the lid to do your picking up from? But I've tried it. I can't get the amount I need. Whoops, that way. Oh dear, oh dear. So the way I do it is kind of the way I do it. So there we go. Now, to join these together, I think I will put this on. And I'm going to add just a little bit of glue stick so that it will be able to be moved slightly if I get the wrong position to start with. And a little bit of adhesive on this bit. There we are. I'm going to put a bit of glue stick over that because that's jolly sticky too. It just gives me moving time. But if you do get it in the wrong position and you haven't done any of that, you can always use your heat tool to soften the adhesive so you can move it. Right, there is. Don't know if I like this position, but nevertheless, I will persevere and see. No, I think I'm going to use a little glue dot actually. The right size. Yes. Okay. Glue dot on the back of this one. Put it onto that one. glue dot on the back of this one. It doesn't matter about it showing through the vellum because I'm going to put a little pearl over the top, so it won't show. Put that on top of that one. Right, now a little pearl. What size pearl do we want? Perhaps one of these. Let's see. I think that's nice, don't you? Right, let's put my pearls away. Don't know what sentiment I'm going to put on these, but that I can easily cut from. That looks quite sweet, doesn't it? Under sentiment somewhere. Okay, I think we're going to call it a day, people, and I will continue with my experiments and see how I get on. I've just put 2 on there. Seems to call for it just there, doesn't it? So, not quite the outcome I had anticipated, but nevertheless, it looks quite pretty. And the paler one does work better. I think it doesn't take so much away from the butterfly. I'll think of a sentiment, and I may well use some of this stuff as a die cut for the sentiment, just to keep the colour in the right tone. So once more, thank you so much for watching.